up the December 14th reads, now that it's almost January, for a few people that have waited for a very long time. So this is for Christy, for Lindsay, for Shannon, for Amanda, and for Deborah. And that's the order I'm going in. So let me get Miss Christy pulled up here. I've got, hopefully, everybody's stuff entered, and I'm just, yeah. All right, Miss Christy, let's get you pulled up to see how your 2023 is going to look. So when I'm looking at your birth chart, let's see here. So I'm going to take a look at your birth chart itself, and then we're going to change it to now. Let me turn this over here, and I'm going to make sure I get it to where I am not showing any of your personal information. There we go. So this right here is your chart when you were born. What I'm looking at are all the different lines, how everything is shaped, what houses you don't have stuff in, what houses you do, what was in retrograde when you were born, etc. So Mercury was actually in retrograde when you were born, meaning that Mercury retrograde is actually a good thing for you. All right, let's move it to today. All right. You are definitely more squared, more aligned with what you want to do and where you want to go. I love how everything got more structured. It got more complicated, but it also got more structured. Your moon currently right now is in Aries, and it is right on the line between your 4th and 5th house. So, you're really dealing with a lot emotionally, internally, shadow work wise on your home, your foundation, your family, where you're going, where you've been. Okay. So let's forward this 1 year, and let's take a look at how your 2023 is going to shape up. So this is, as I mentioned, this is right now, this moment. Not a lot changed. Only a couple of small things. So as you can see, your moon shifts pretty decently. And when your moon shifts, your Mercury and your Vesta come into play right there with each other. Okay. So here's what I love about this, and here's what 2023 is mainly going to change for you. This is that you finally stop overthinking about your foundation and where you're going, where you've been. You stop worrying so much about home and why you are the way you are. We always tend to overthink about how our foundations made us who we are now and so on. That's not going to be a thing for you really going forward. Between your moon coming up here, literally right next to your Saturn, and having your Venus here, all right here together in Aries, 2023 is going to be a year of empowerment and of luck for you. I would bet that it's going to be a very, very prosperous year for you. It's going to be a year of a lot of abundance, of a year of opportunities, and so on. So one of the things that I am going to say is don't jump too quick on every opportunity that comes along, because seeing how everything is very square, the universe is requiring balance. You have learned that you have to have balance, and so the universe is making sure that you have it. When you have a new opportunity that comes along this year, make sure that you're willing to give something else up to take that opportunity, if that makes sense. So let's look here at this. All right. So this right here actually makes me pretty happy. See, pretty balanced. Now your fire is a little bigger, but that's fine. That's pretty damn balanced. This, however, remember how we were just talking, or I was just talking about how the universe was going to require something to be given up before it could move on, right? You only have 33% in your cardinal, which is moving forward, and 13% 13% in your fixed, which is now and productivity. And then over half your chart is mutable signs, which are adapting to change and ending and so on. So you want to make sure that you are giving up more than you're taking in. That way you don't have to stress too much about the universe taking something that you really, really want. And you also don't have to stress too much about taking on too many things, because I have a feeling that is exactly what you've been doing lately. And that's why you are going to be in this mode next year of, I'm taking on too much stuff. I need time for me. I'm done with all of this. This is no longer serving me. 2023 is definitely going to be a year of empowerment. And there's going to be a lot of people around you that are probably not going to be super happy because they're used to you doing all of the things for them. So hopefully they know that's a coming. I'm sure they don't. And I'm sure that they'll throw a fit about it. But it's definitely coming. That's for sure. So, going to be an amazing year of empowerment for you, Miss Christy. And that makes me really, really happy for you because you deserve it. All right, Miss Lindsay. Let me pull up your chart here. All right, ready? So, Lindsay, this is your chart when you were born. You are super focused on family, on foundation, on who you are. You have a couple of interesting Capricorn placements there, your Venus. Okay. Your moon is in Libra, meaning that you do require balance in all things. I do like all the triangles. Okay, so that's when you were born. Let's look at right now. Interesting. So that's when you were born. This is right now. Not a lot shifted as far as lines go. Now, your signs obviously shifted a lot, especially in which houses they were in and so on. Your moon is now in Aquarius. Your sun is in Aries, meaning you are absolutely ready to leave shit in the dust and move forward. You have a few fire placements. Right now, your Pluto is in retrograde, meaning you're having an issue with your looks, how you feel you look. Okay. I don't see anything really crazy here. In fact, I think it's interesting how this didn't move much. But let's move forward a year and see. It tells me that you are absolutely that person that what you see is what you get. You don't really care for change. You are an Aquarius that doesn't want things to move, to shift, to change, unless you say it's okay. All right. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. My sister is like that too, and she's pretty dependable on everything. All right. So this is next year. So this is what I'm watching here. The main thing that's shifting is your moon. So it shifts, it stays in your third house, but it shifts over into Pisces. Your moon right now is in Aquarius, meaning it's very creative. It's very moody. When a moon is in Aquarius, sorry, I had to yawn there. It's been a long day. When your moon is in Aquarius, you're finding very creative ways of dealing with your shadow side, your emotions. What I'm looking at too here, see this is your Venus. See how both of these signs are square with your Mars, and your Mars is in Taurus. It tells me that especially emotionally, you're really sticking to your guns right now, and you're not letting anything move you unless you want to be moved. And being that this is in Taurus, you don't want to be moved a lot. All right, let's move forward a year and see what's up. Okay. Your moon shifts from this kind of brooding Aquarius aspect to Pisces. So here's the thing with that. At least it gets it out of square with your Mars. So that's kind of a good thing. But the interesting thing about this, it goes from this brooding aspect to kind of a on-off drama, cut the world off aspect. Let me look at something else here. I do like how all of these things suddenly are in triangulation with each other. And this comes with your Mercury right here, which is also in Pisces, with your Pluto and your Uranus. So what I love about this is that, this is in Capricorn, and this is your planet of goals and of dreams. I like that your Mercury is in Pisces with your moon. This is going to work good and bad. It's going to work good in that it will really help you deal with some of the shadow aspects that have to do with home and family and your divine feminine. And it will also help you with communication. Now, the bad is that when you want to shut down, you are absolutely going to shut down. But I actually think that that may be a good thing for you, because seeing these like this, and how this is still in retrograde, it tells me that you have a problem setting boundaries with people, especially people that are very close to you, because a lot of your placements are in your 3rd and 4th house. So you have a lot of problems setting people up, like, hey, this is a boundary, don't cross this. And then they cross it and you're like, well, okay, don't cross it again. And they cross it again. And I think that you just give in too much, too easy to them. So 2023 is going to be a year of boundaries for you. So this actually is pretty nice. I don't see much wrong with that. I like that 40% over here is in ending, change. 33 is moving forward, and 26 is following through. Now, the thing over here that I don't like is that your fire is 40%. So that is inspiration and enthusiasm, but it's also you really putting the foot down with a lot of stuff. So you're gonna have to be really, really careful that you don't let go of too much too quick, because these are all even. Your earth, your air, and your water, those are all even, and that's fantastic. Like, they're perfectly even. This, however, especially since the sun is in there, your Jupiter and your Saturn. So you're gonna have to really, really be careful. Oh, yeah, your sun and your Jupiter are both in your cardinal as well. Saturn is an ending. Okay, so you're going to have to really be careful that you don't take on too much, and that you don't end up moving forward too fast, because 2023 is going to be a year of boundaries and a year of you. It's a year of you. I have a feeling you've put everybody before you way too much. So this next year is you. It's putting boundaries. Just be careful that you don't, let go of too much, and B, take on too much, okay? All right, Miss Shannon Larkin, let me get your chart up here. If I can spell your name right, it'll pull you up. I guess I had my keys shifted, so everything was over, so yeah. All right, let's look at you. All right, so this is when you were born. Everything is home and family oriented. Everything. All of this up here, all of your long-term goals, your spirituality, the way you think of it. So I would bet you've had a lot of people pull the family loyalty cards on you a lot. Oof. All right, let's look at now. Ready? This is today, right now. Oh, that's like a big old fan come up like that. This up here is your karma, your spirituality. This is your long-term goals, your career, like where are you wanting to go? I love this. Oh, and this is divine masculine in the Leo. Ooh-wee. You have really, really just fallen down the spiritual rabbit hole. And there is no coming back, and you don't give a shit who knows about it. That's awesome. Okay, Let's look at a year from today. Let's see what's shifted. So your moon currently, as of right now, is in your 10th house, and it's in Gemini. And you're ignoring things. Okay. What I was looking at is this line right here, and it goes to your sun. You're suppressing some stuff. You're ignoring some things because this empowerment right here is what you're allowing to push forward. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Still kind of ignoring things, but not as bad. This is more, I just don't want to talk about it with you. Still here, but I like that this has shifted from your 10th house down to here. Okay. So what 2023 is going to change for you? You're still going to be firmly on this spiritual path. You're still going to be running down the road head first in that Leo aspect. Nobody's going to change you, but your moon is still tied slightly to here. I do like that this line has changed a little bit in that it's not going to be something that is going to run your life, kind of like it is right now. Your moon is also now triangular with your Pluto, which means that being in Libra and your divine feminine, you're going to have some dealings with making physical changes with yourself. I'm just going to advise, don't go overboard with this because, honey, you are good. You're good the way you are. But I understand we all want to be a little different here or there or everywhere or whatever, because this is also in tune with your Uranus. So you're going to want those things to happen. And being that that's in Sagittarius, yeah, there's not going to be any stopping you once you get onto that. But what I do find interesting is that your moon is in direct line here. It's also still in line with your Mercury, and still you don't want to talk about your emotions, your shadow self. And it just tells me that you're not ready to yet. So here's what I'm going to say about this. Don't push yourself. Don't push yourself next year. Your path is your path. That spiritual aspect of you, of moving forward and everything, is exactly what you need to be doing. But don't stress about talking about things. It's not time yet. So don't worry when everybody's like, you have to do shadow work. You don't. You really don't. Okay, this bothers me. We'll talk about it in a minute. All right, so 40% is cardinal, moving forward. 46% is fixed, which is, see, there's that sun and your masculine and that determined productivity aspect. And then, see, look here, your moon is in the mutable, which is the smallest part. Like I said, don't stress about talking to people about your emotions and so on. So what bothers me about this is that there's no earth. There is no earth. In fact, 40% of your signs a year from today are in air, which is logical thinking. It's processing ideas intellectually. 33% is in fire, which is passion and moving forward and drive. And then 26.7% is in water, which is emotions and sensitivities and intuition. But what I'm going to say here, you're going to have to be careful that you don't get too ungrounded. Right now, you need to kind of drift off. You need to be ungrounded, and that's a great place to be. It's being in the hallway, being in the void. It's being on the journey. But don't get too far out there. So you're going to have to make sure that you really work with your root chakra. You keep things on you that keep you grounded. And this doesn't always have to be stones. Sometimes it's as easy as wearing your mom's ring, or, you know what I mean? Something like that keeps you grounded in who Shannon is. That's the only thing I see that kind of you're going to have to pay attention to. But 2023 is going to be a year of more empowerment for you. And like I said, don't stress about the shadow work, period. It's not time yet. So don't worry about it, okay? And I know there's going to be people that say, oh, no, you have to do, you don't. You can do it when you're ready. All right, Miss Amanda Navarro, you ready? Let's look at you. All right. Wow. Well, you really, really tie everything into where you are in life. You overthink every little thing about where you are in life. Oh, goodness, girl. Being in Cancer, I would bet you compare yourself to other people like nobody's business. And you're a Sagittarius. All right, let's look at right now. Well, I mean, you already had everything down here except for that. This is like right now today. Holy crap. 4 Capricorn placements. Moon's in Sagittarius. Your Pluto's in Scorpio. Your communication's in Pisces. Oof. You are just, I want to say a hot mess, but not. I would bet you're coming off to people as a hot mess, but you're not. These right here, your emotions are a little bit of a hot mess, but you're keeping them in check. Being that your Saturn's in Scorpio, you have so much stuff that's coming into balance. So with your masculine and your feminine being in Pisces over here and being in your 5th house, you really, people are probably telling you all the time, like, I don't know what's going on with you. Like, are you on a sugar high? Or like, they just don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. Like, you seem to be off kilter to them. But here's the thing. You are not. You are not. Your sun sign is in Capricorn right now. Your Jupiter, your communication, your Uranus, everything. All of these major things are in Capricorn, in your divine feminine and in your home front. And look at everything like that. Good Lord. Okay. Look at a year from now. Remember how I said that you were kind of biding your time and watching everything? Seeing this line pop up from your Pluto to your divine masculine tells me that whatever it is that your crafty little mind is putting into place, whatever it is that you have planned for so long comes to fruition this next year. So I don't know what you've been putting in place. I don't know what you've been planning, but it comes to fruition this next year, honey. Okay, let's look at this. Oh, look at that. Holy shit. You have 60% of your signs are in the cardinal position, which is ambition. It's moving forward. It's moving on quickly. Now, okay. I was going to say that kind of bothers me a little bit, but the fact that your Saturn is in there, I'm not worried about it at all now, because this is your productivity and your drive. You're like moving forward. Let's get the boring shit done. But even though that's the smallest part of this, seeing that your Saturn's in there, it tells me that all of the things that you actually get done, that you knuckle down and do, are exactly what you need to do. You know how sometimes you get overwhelmed because you have so much to do and you can't really see what is the most important? You manage to get all of the most important things done. So your moon is over here and your mutable, meaning, and your Mercury and your Venus. Not your Mercury, your Mars and your Venus. Meaning that you are ready to cut off and cut ties with some emotions that have been holding you back. So that makes me really happy. I love this too. I love that your earth and your water are both 33% because you are so grounded in who you are and moving forward, and you are allowing your intuition and your sensitivities to really come to light. Now, the only thing bad about this, I love that your fire is only 20, okay? Oh, and your moon is there, which is your moon pushing you forward to let go a bunch of this shit. The only thing that bothers me is that your air is only 13%. There's not a lot of things in your air that really is going to cause you problems. But what I would say is to be really careful that when you're pushing forward, you don't allow your emotions to push you too far, because you have a lot of different things that are push, 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 go, 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 end this, end that, bye, bye, bye. So you're just going to have to be really careful that you don't go too fast, too far. Does that make sense? You are very grounded in who you are this next year, and your sensitivities and your emotion, your abilities are off the chart. So there's going to be some times when you feel batshit crazy this next year, because your gifts are so strong. So stay grounded in who you are and don't let that fire pull you off too far. Okay. All right. So let's get Miss Deborah here. All right, Miss Deborah, let's look at you. All right. Ooh, look at all those Aquarius placements. Oh, and your Mars is in Capricorn. You are absolutely not someone to argue with. You stick your head in, or you stick your feet down, and you are not moving. Okay, so let's look at right now. Oh, you are complicated as shit right now, aren't you? You are definitely one of those people that miss things being simpler when you were a child. Because that, my dear, is a whole bunch of complicated stuff. All right, let's look at everything here. So your moon is currently in Scorpio. Okay, in your 11th house. Almost in your 12th. I will bet it shifts to your 12th. You got Aries energy going. Okay. All right, let's shift it over a year and let's see what 2023 has in store for you. Wow. This is where you are now. See how everything suddenly comes into phase with your moon? I mean, you have a couple of things that are aligned with your moon right now, but look. Once this moon moves over here into this 12th house, look at how many things are tied to it. So your Neptune is tied to it. Your Vesta is tied to it. Your Sun is tied to it. And your Jupiter, your personal power, is tied to it. Your moon makes a massive shift this year. This 12th house is all about your spirituality, your karma, your letting go. And even though this right here is more complicated and there's way more lines and stuff in there, in no way is that a bad thing. Because this is you working through so much karmically and getting it out of the way. This is why your life has gotten so much more complicated in the last year. And I'm just letting you know it's going to continue to get more complicated. But I think in 2023, you're going to find that it's complicated in a very good way. Yep. So perfectly equal, your cardinal and your fixed, meaning your drive to move forward and your productivity, are perfect. But this mutable aspect, look, you have your Mercury, your Mars, your Jupiter, and your Pluto here. You are absolutely slicing and dicing things out of your life in 2023. That's why I was saying that even though it got more complicated, it's complicated in a good way. So this over here is interesting, and there's one thing I'm going to warn you about. So your fire, your water, and your air are all pretty close to even. But see what it does to your earth? It's little bitty, little bitty. You're going to have to be really careful that you stay grounded. The only thing in your earth placement is your Pluto, which is how you feel like you appear to everybody else. So you're very grounded in your appearance, but the problem is all of this other stuff. Oh, and your moon is in your water, which is emotions and sensitivities and intuition. So, Sweet Pea, you're going to have to be really super careful in who all of these things that are being cut out of your life make you feel like you are no longer you. You might look like you, but you're going to feel like you're no longer you. Change you too much. I think it's fantastic there. You're going to be cutting shit out of your life, for all of words, cutting shit out of your life right and left. But like I said, stay grounded in who you are. Don't let it change you too much. Okay. So overall, it's going to be a great year for you, honey. So don't stress. Don't stress.